This is Fresh Production.
What is going on? This is Coach Coleman, Jesse Coleman, and you're now checking into Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast where we help you tap into your full potential. And as you can see, another week solo dolo, but it's all good. We're getting to that time of year where there's a lot of people traveling for work, a lot of people that speak in doing other engagements, or people that's just locking in, Q4, head down, get into it and making it work. So we're gonna rock and roll and keep the vibes going, keep it moving. This week though, I wanted to touch bases on something. 75 hard, right? So I'm doing another round of 75 hard. And for anybody that know me, no, this is probably like my fifth round of doing 75 hard. And each time I've done 75 hard, there's been different reasons behind it. Um, of course, like everybody, a big part of it is just doing a reset, a body reset. For me, I like to do one or two things to reset my body. One is usually a 5 day um, fruit fruit and herbal tea detox that I usually do. And then the other one is doing around the 75 hard. Like the year before last, I actually did the whole Live Fit program where it's 75 hard. Then you go to a 30 day. Then you got to take a 30-day break. You go into another 30-day break. And then you go into the last 30 days. And the way it lines up, it should usually line up as a whole year of the program, which I did that before. And then now I'm just, doing another round of 75 hard. And one of the main reasons why I decided to redo the challenge again is, of course, I needed that body reset. I've been hitting the gym hard, like hitting weights, going, lifting heavier, but I was eating crap. You know what I'm saying? And we know when we eat crap, it really, it really mess with us. So I wanted to do the reset. And yet, a big part of me redoing 75 hard was to get back into those little habits of things, right? Making sure I'm drinking my gallon of water. And for you all who don't know what 75 hard is, it's by Andy Frisella with First Form. I decided for this, I used to be a part of the Legion of Boom, with First Form. And it is for 75 days you are doing two 45-minute workouts. One of those workouts have to be outside. And let me tell you, living in Chicago, when I did it last winter, bruh, I was out there and 2-degree weather, sometime negative degree weather, suited and booted, double hoodies, double coats, scarf around my face, two scullies on, and I was getting it in. But, going back to it is two 45-minute workouts. One must be outside, a progress pic every day, a gallon of water, no cheat meals, and stick to a diet of your choice. And also, you have to read 10 pages of a self-help book, or not podcast, not audio book, but legit read 10 pages. And for me, I have gotten over the past while, I had gotten off the rhythm of reading my books. Like I'm in the process of writing a book myself. I'm in the process of teaching, you know, like on a teaching tour that I've been practicing my teaching. I've been writing my book that I still got away from doing those things that, kept me grounded, which was reading 10 pages of a self-help book. So that was a big part of me getting back into it is I wanted to get back into those habits, right? And another part, and my mindset is totally different this time around, right? It is, yes, getting into the fitness shape, is a big thing, but my mindset this time is, bro, if you were able to do these things for 75 days, you can do whatever you want to do, right? You are mentally strong to where you would get up and go run in the rain. Like there's been multiple times. For some reason, y'all, one round of 75 hard, it literally rained damn near every day that I had to go out there and do my run. Or it started raining while I was out there. But yet it created that mental fortitude, that mental toughness for me of like, hey, bro, you don't feel like getting up, but guess what? You're still out there. You're still going to do it. And for you all that's listening, that's what make my mindset different this time around for 75 hard because I'm using it to strengthen my mindset. I'm using it to build on that of staying strong mentally, staying strong emotionally, staying strong physically. Of no matter how hard shit get, you still got to keep swinging. If you have a goal, if you have something in place, you have to get out there and you have to do it because that goal is important to you. And that's one of the, the difference between this time and last time is the other times it was a lot more just the physical aspect. But this time around, it's that mental toughness that I'm shooting for. And this time again, this round is more about discipline than it is about being physical for me, right? This is more about that discipline. It's more about that. All right, can you lock in, right? Can you stay committed to it? If you can stay committed to these things, that's going to get you in the best shape of your life. It's going to get you mentally strong. Now, let's take that and let's implement that into what you're doing on the business side or personal relationship side. Taking one and using it, habit stacking, right? Using those disciplines from this and transitioning that over to what you're trying to do here doing your business size. And one thing I want to highlight, like the weight builds muscle, but the structure builds character. Like again, the weight builds muscle, but that structure builds character. Like that structure you have, it builds something in you to just be like, let's fucking go. I'm finna go. Like I'm locked in. And that's why, I restarted 75 hard on this round. And again, it goes back to what is that creating for me mentally? The one round of 75 hard, I was on a 7-day cruise, and you all know how cruises get. And we had the free drink package, right? I didn't drink, I didn't eat sweets, I didn't do none of that. And then I was in Vegas, right, for 5 days. Didn't eat sweets, didn't drink, didn't do none of that. Like if I was able to do these things and still stay committed to the process, that structure, it built that character in me where I'm locked in and I know like, hey, if I can make it through these things, I can make it through anything. Like I went to Vegas, I went on a 7-day cruise. I had other trips in between where I stayed focused on what's most important, and I didn't, I didn't succumb to those temptations of those things. And I think that's a big part. Again, going back to why I'm redoing 75 hard, and what's different for me this time as opposed to last time. And then another part of it is it's the accountability equals freedom, right? That daily accountability of water, working out, reading, progress pick. It gives you that mental clarity. Like I always felt that having, structure or something was taken away from what it is I was trying to do. But in all actuality, having that structure helped me perform better because I wasn't trying to create anything. I wasn't trying to go off the fly and trying to come up with stuff. Like it gave me that freedom to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's so funny how quickly that you can create those habits that you can lose those habits. That's one thing I've learned from past rounds of 75 hard is, bro, and I'm not even lying. Like I would do 75 days, no eating bullshit, didn't even want to eat the bullshit because this was the program that I was in, right? Soon as it was over, day 76, 77, I'm eating Oreos, right? But that goes to show like having that structure, that accountability, it locks you in mentally. So it's like, okay, how can we transition that to continue to have those habits moving forward? Now, going into like it, creating that confidence in you, it helps you again. It creates that confidence because you're showing up, you're doing the things you're supposed to do, you're being accountable, and you're creating confidence in yourself. Not only that, you're getting better or you're reading fast, faster. Like that was one of the things. Like when you're reading your 10 pages, by day 10 or day 12, you're reading more than 10 pages because your pace is going. Because again, time on task over time, you're starting to get better. So I'm becoming a better reader. I'm reading more pages. I'm reading them quickly that it shot past just the 10 pages today. It was just me just constantly going, going, going. And I know when people hear this and they like, oh, you're always motivated. For you all that listen to this podcast, and for you all that know me, you know that shit is like motivation is bullshit, right? There are going to be more days that you're not motivated than you are motivated to do it. That's why we say motivation is bullshit, but habit and consistency is what gets you going. And for you all that work out, like me, you can attest to this that those days you do not feel like working out, those days you do not feel like doing anything, you turn around and have the best workout ever. Because you're like, okay, I'm here, I showed up. Fuck it, let's go all in. I can guarantee you, and this is me speaking from experience, there has been multiple times where I had headaches, before going to jujitsu. I've had headaches before going to the gym, or I just was feeling off before going for my run. And by the time I get about 10 minutes into that run, it just was like amazing. I mean, I'm out there knocking miles down, cutting down to my time. Like I was really in it. So again, we have to remember that motivation come and goes, but when you have that consistency, when you have that system in place, it keeps you going, it keeps you moving, and it creates that structure. And we all know structure creates success, right? Structure is not something that's there to restrict you, right? It is not like having structure is not to restrict you. Structure is actually there to give you more freedom. Remember, we just talked about that. Structure creates success, and that connection between your routine and freedom is so amazing. Think of it like this: how much can you get done when you have a structure of knowing what it is that you're supposed to do, as opposed to you just going about just doing everything? So let's look at it. Um, let's say chores, right? So if you have chores at home, and you put together a list of, these are the chores I need to get done for today. It's Saturday. For you all who grew up in the 80s, the 90s, you know our parents put on that old music on Saturday morning. They blasting it loud. You start smelling pine saw. Damn it, you know what time it was. It's time to get up and clean, right? It was that structure, but that structure created the success, which created the freedom that, yes, you had to wake up early Saturday morning to clean, but you were done cleaning by a certain time because you had the structure and you knew what you were going to clean. So now let's take it the opposite way, where you just wake up like, oh, damn, I need to clean up today, and shit everywhere, dishes, you got to do laundry, the kids got toys everywhere. You're just like the squirrel. You got squirrel brain. You're going from this to that. And before you know it, you probably haven't accomplished anything. And now you're going into the afternoon. But if you have that structure, it liberates you because you know what it is you need to do. You get it knocked out and you keep moving, right? And again, we talked about creating that confidence. We talked about having that that mindset around, damn, if I do stay committed to this, if I do follow the routine, I'm gonna have success and I'm gonna get it done. And I want to shift gears. Well, not too much shift gears, but the daily framework is something that you can mirror in your business. Excuse me, my sinus is killing me, right? But taking, again, I said I'm doing this round of 75 hard for the habits to create the routine that I fell out of, and taking that and implement into high performance in business. So for you all in real estate, lead gen, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts. You already know what it is you need to do. So if you create that habit of 75 hard, picture, two workouts, gallon of water, read the book, follow a diet, and you're consistently doing it, you're committed to that, you are locked in on that. So you just take that same framework and you implement it into your business, and now you're performing your business at a high level. A lot of the top business people we know, they have a routine, they have structure. They do the same thing consistently, time on task over time, and that's the reason why they're at where they're at. They're at that level that they're supposed to be. And what James Clear says, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your standards. That is one of the quotes that I love so much by James Clear is, you do not rise to the level of your standard, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your standards. And remember, we talk about this a lot. What is your standards? What does that look like? If your goal is here but your standards are here, you can't complain that you don't hit your goals, right? If your goal is to run a marathon, to get your body fat percentage to a certain thing, but your standards is working out once or twice a week, not drinking water, hell, not even a gallon, but you're not drinking 2 cups of water, you're not getting rest, you're stopping at McDonald's, you're not going to rise to the level of your goal. You're going to drop to your standards, which is eating the bullshit, right? Now, let's talk about mental fitness and physical fitness. The mental reps that happen when you keep promises to yourself, boy, let me tell you something. It is crazy, y'all. The mental toughness that you build by keeping a promise to yourself is something that is so underrated. We try to keep promises to everybody else. Yeah, I promise you I'm gonna do this. I say I'm gonna do that, but we don't keep the promises to ourselves. It puts us in a certain mindset. But again, when you get those mental reps, that the mental part that comes in when you keep a commitment to yourself, it just does something to you. And we're talking about the gym, but I want to relate the gym to business, right? That building endurance is not just for the gym, right? It's for your mindset and more importantly, your emotions. Because shit is gonna happen. We talk about this all the time. What can go wrong will go wrong. The world will crumble. Look at the world right now. So when you're listening to this, it's going to be a few days prior, but the AWS, Amazon system that went down, and then all these websites crashed. Everything was going wrong. Like, go back to the pandemic. People never thought that would happen. Guess what? The pandemic happened. Like, what can go wrong will go wrong. But what we know is that we build that endurance, that we strengthen our mindset, we strengthen our emotions. We talk about all the time. What are we doing to make sure our mindset is strong? What are we doing to make sure our emotions are strong? That it doesn't matter what happens, we can keep going. And again, going back to the reason why I restarted 75 Hard, it was to get my mental fitness back up on track the way it needs to be. I need my mental fitness to match my physical fitness, because you can try to have one without the other, but it's not going to last for that long. So you got to keep it going. And I'm leaving with quotes on everything, right? So I got to leave you with another quote on this, that it's not about the six pack abs, it's about the six pack discipline. That may sound corny to you. Hey, I'll be corny on that. But again, it's not about the six pack abs, it's about the six pack discipline. The discipline that we're building by doing this, we have to make sure we have that go over into our business and our personal life. Okay. And then I want to talk about how 75 Hard is showing up for me on the coaching side of things, right? It's that mental toughness from 75 Hard. And it's showing up in coaching because it's one of those leading by examples. Again, that is a big thing that we have to do. Lead by example. Don't do as I say, but do as I do, sort of things. So if I'm getting consistent, if I'm building those habits in the fitness realm, and now it's trickling over to the business realm, and then the people I'm coaching seeing me in both of those regards, the business and the fitness, they're not gonna give me a side eye when I ask them to do something. They're not gonna look at me like, well, you're coaching us on doing that, but are you doing it right? It's leading by example. It's not just saying to do this. It's like, no, this is why you should do it, because guess what? I'm going to do it and I'm going to show you. So it's that spillover, right? It's that spillover effect into from fitness to life into business. And just wanting to show up for yourself can change the way want to show up for ourselves is how we can change others. Again, it's all about how can you impact people. And for me, impacting people is showing up a certain way. That's why I post my workout stuff early in the morning. I do my karaoke. I call it karaoke. And my moods, my vibes change every morning. So one morning, like this morning, I was on my Master P about it because guess what? The Cash Money versus No Limit versus is coming up. That was my mood. Another mood, I'm listening to some Phil Collins, some Genesis, like it again. But it's just showing up and showing people like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. We're on this path together. It's not just me telling you what to do. It's me showing you that we can do these things, right? And again, we talk about on Breakthrough Blueprint, showing up as the best version of yourself to be able to be the best version of yourself for other people. Now, I want to ask you all this, and this is a quote again. When I say stuff to you all, I'm saying it to myself is, if I can't keep a promise to myself, how can I lead anyone else? Right? Again, if I can't keep a promise to myself, how can I lead anybody else? And that's just real. Again, it goes back to, how can I ask you to do something if I'm not doing it myself? That just doesn't make sense. So we want to think about that. So how can you keep a promise? If you can't keep a promise to yourself, how can you lead others? And now I want to challenge you all, right? I want to leave you all with a challenge. I invite you all to find your own 75 hard. Now, this can be fitness, this can be relationship based, this can be business based. But again, I challenge you all. No, I don't even challenge you all, because challenging makes it seem negative. I invite you all to find your own 75 hard. Something that builds structure, right? And it has your mental growth. Again, we got to be purposeful about what we're doing. We're not just doing things just for the hell of it. So if you accept this invitation to create your own or start 75 hard, I want you to know that you're doing it because you want to build structure and you want to have that mental growth, right? You don't have to do a 75 hard. So that's the thing I'm telling you now. You don't have to do a 75 hard. I know some people that's doing it with me, they're doing 75 soft, right? There's some people that are changing some of the things in it. But at the end of the day, it's about how are you going to build that structure and how you're going to have that mental growth. That is the main thing that I want you all to take for this, right? So you don't have to do the 75 hard. Remember that you can do 75 soft. Like, you can Google, they got it everywhere, 75 soft or other things. But again, at the end of the day, something that's going to help you build structure and your mental growth. All right. You don't have to do 75 hard, but you do have to get hard on your excuses. Just leave it at that. You don't have to do again. Excuses are things to make us feel good about what we didn't do, and everything is a choice. I love my coach. Shout out to my coach Michelle. It was something that I was supposed to do for her, and I didn't do it, and I was giving her excuse after excuse. She said, "No, just accept the fact that you chose not to do it." So again, you have to make sure that you know you don't let your excuses win. You have to get hard on your excuses. Excuses are things to make us feel good about the shit we didn't do. And Be careful the people that you share things with, because and they don't do it out of malice or negativity, but they'll let you be okay with the excuses you give. Oh no, that's okay, it's fine. No, we can't do that, right? So again, you don't have to do the 75 hard. You could do 75 soft, or you could do something, but I want you to do something that's going to help you build that structure, and it's going to give you that mental growth. If you don't have no accountability partners, you can reach out to me. You already know my Instagram is in the description. Find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook. You can follow me on YouTube, leave a comment, and then I'll reach out to you. But let's help hold each other accountable. Let's help build each other up, because again, if we have that structure, we have freedom. We need that mental growth. The same way that we have our fitness, where we're doing great in that, let's take that from there and let's take it into our business and personal lives. So again, this is why I'm doing 75 hard. I love you all for rocking with me. Again, I do not take it for granted. I just want to say that before I check out. I do not take it for granted that you all, week after week, you're listening to me, you're engaging with me on social media. I love that so much. I am humbled. I am honored. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks for checking into Breakthrough Blueprint, the podcast where we help you tap into your full potential. I'm out. Peace.
This is Fresh Boy.